Guys, our first comic, our feature act, great friend of mine. Give it up, Failla! Come on. Rob, everybody. Keep it going for Rob. Good evening. I am Frank Failla, and I am. You may have seen me in a television show. I was in Investigation Discovery. Evil Speaks. It's about my wife. Not to be confused with Evil Lives Here, which is what I feel every time I pull in the driveway. But you know, after doing that TV show, I do realize why people kill their families. Because I get home, or I'm home all day, because I'm retired from the NYPD. And I get home, and I'm home all day, and all of a sudden it's 5 o'clock, and I gotta put on pants, I gotta turn off the porn, and the family comes in, and now my son decides that he's Kenny G. He hasn't picked up his saxophone in 6 months, he starts blasting the saxophone. My daughter is now Rachel Ray, and she's banging pots and pans together. And my wife, apparently nobody talks to my wife at work, because she comes home, and she starts telling me a story about a midget, which happened to be a very long story. So now we know why people kill their families. But I was also recently in a movie called Family Obligations. That'll be out a couple of months. And, but people have asked me if this was the first movie I've ever been in, and I said, no, back in my 20s, I was in a horror movie. It was my wedding video. I like to rewind it right to the part where I got into the limo. Still smiling back then? But anyway, as I said, I am retired from the NYPD, and I can tell you that when I worked, every night the people of New York City felt secure, knowing that I was on the day shift. And it wasn't easy being a cop. You know, I was a young kid coming from Long Island, and I get to Brooklyn, and I get there, and it was rough. I mean, I would be cursed at, assaulted, shot at. And that was just in the locker room. But I do remember my first call as a rookie police officer. It actually wasn't my first call, it was my first incident. I'm walking down the street and I come to a crowd on the corner. I said, oh, I gotta do something about this. So I get in the crowd, I said, you have to move. And they will move. I said, you gotta go, we're not moving. No, you have to. And I'm fighting with the crowd. The car pulls up, Sergeant jumps out, he says, Failla, what are you doing? I said, Sergeant, I can't get them off the corner. He said, because it's a bus stop. Well, one of the best days of my career was when I got to deliver a baby. I remember this very clearly. We get the call, I go running into the house, woman's on the couch, I look, and I hear, no, I'm in here. It's a wrong woman. I was like, oh, sorry. So I go in the bedroom, and she's delivering the baby, but it was breech. So I stick my hands in the air, and she's pushing, and I'm pulling. Baby comes out, send her up to the hospital. About 2 weeks later, she walks into the precinct. I was like, are you here to thank me? She said, no, I found your watch. So now that I retired, I became a real estate agent. And I had a little trouble in the beginning because I'm not good with technology. I was uploading all my listings, and apparently I accidentally linked them to a porn site. Yeah, everybody loves my virtual tours. So I just started with a new company, and I was sitting at my desk, and my manager came in the office, and she said, Frank, how are you liking the company? I said, it's good. She goes, you have any aha moments? I said, you know what, Linda, I did. I said, I just realized that my computer can be used for more than just Facebook, email, and porn. She said, of course, for real estate. I said, no, online gambling. Then there was, of course, the time when I brought the buyers to the wrong house. Yeah, I got there, we get there, and it turns out it was a crack house. I was very embarrassed, but it worked out fine because they bought the business and the house, and now they own a mansion in the Hamptons. So, my family. I'm married, I have 2 children, and I found out that I had to retire when I had to watch the kids. It wasn't easy, and I had to figure out how to punish them. So I found the best way to punish them was not to take away their iPad, you take away the charger. And then you watch the blood drain from their faces, they're watching the battery drain. You should see the look on my wife's face when I take away her batteries. So being home with the kids is not easy. My daughter, the other day, she's 10, and she says to me, I said to her, I go, you going to school, did you have breakfast? She says, no. I said, well, you got to eat something. She goes, I'll have a cookie. I said, you can't have a cookie. Now, there was nothing in the house except cereal, and all I had was Life cereal. I said, look, you got to have some cereal. She goes, this isn't fair. I hate this cereal. Life sucks. I said, oh, you have no idea. My son is, he's a good kid. He's 17, but I think I'm raising him to be a leg breaker. Because every once in a while I got to borrow money from him, and then he hounds me to pay him back. And last week I borrowed some money from him, and I haven't paid him back yet, and I think he's sending me a message. Because this morning when I woke up, in the bed next to me was the head of my favorite golf club. But then there was my daughter. I told her she's 10, and I had to run an errand, and I said to her, come on, we gotta go, I gotta run an errand. She said, Daddy, can I just stay home and rent a movie? And I thought about it for a second, and I said, all right, I'm not gonna be gone that long. So I got home, and it was later than I wanted to because the game went into overtime. And I said to her, I said, Frankie, what did you rent? She said, Daddy, I rented 50 Shades of Grey. I said, but don't worry, I didn't like it. The book was so much better. And as I said, my son is 17, and he just got his learner's permit, so I said, come on, get in the car, let's go. And we're driving down the road, the car hits a curb, through some bushes, knocks over a fence. I'm so glad he wasn't driving. So we were going to the DMV to renew my license, and the woman says, can you read the eye chart? I said, of course I can read the eye chart. E-M-I-L-Y. She said, it's very good, sir, but that's not the eye chart, that's my name tag. So I told you my son, at school, I had to see the sex ed film, and he came home, and I said to him, I said, Nick, I said, what'd you think of the sex ed film? He goes, well, certainly not as good as your virtual tours. I felt bad for him because the teachers were telling him he was never going to get into college, he's not going to be anything, so he started to apply, and he was so proud because he told me, he went back to the school and told his teacher, I got into UNC, the university next to the Coliseum. I grew up in a very traditional Italian household. I'm sure we have a few Italians here. At least one, thank you. So my mother never left the house. She was a stay-at-home mom, except on Saturdays. She always had to go to confession. And I'm saying, what could my mother be doing all week long? She's got to go to confession every Saturday. Well, I found out that it was bad. She'd been using jarred sauce. My wife is, she's been hounding me to play that escape game. You guys ever play that, the escape game? You know, you're familiar with it? Apparently they lock you in a room with your family. You're like, God, I need that. and you got like an hour to get out. But she's been hounding me to play the game, and I said, honey, I play that game every time you tell me your mother's coming over. People have asked me, why did I retire? You know, 20 years I retired. I said, you know what, I was tired of working nights, and I wanted to spend more time with the family. Now, I'm working comedy at night, so I can get away from the family. But my wife is here tonight. She's very good. She supports my comedy. And I love that she comes to all my shows because it's so good to see her laughing outside the bedroom. Yeah. She's very supportive because last week I did a show and I got off the stage and I was very upset. And she said to me, she says, why are you upset? I said, very annoyed that I messed up that joke. And she said, it's okay. Nobody was listening anyway. So, yeah. It's the way it is. But we just bought a new bed. Sleep number bed. Anyone have a sleep number bed? I do. Yeah. $7,000 for a sleep number bed, and I still can't get a 69.
So true.
Money well spent, right? But my wife wasn't feeling well the other day, and I said, you know, honey, sex is the best medicine. She said, you are absolutely right. The problem is, I need long-lasting and you're fast-acting. And she might be onto something, because now that I'm getting a little older, I find, the guys, right, we find our bodies don't react like they used to. We need some help for the little blue pills, a leave. Which I found out, ironically, my wife takes before we have sex. So So we were in Costco a couple of weeks ago, and she says to me, "Oh, look, I think that's my gynecologist." What do I know? I go over, I tap him on the shoulder, I say, "How you doing, sir? I understand you've also seen my wife's vagina?" He looks at me and says, "Which one is she?" I said, "Oh, she's over there." He says, "Yeah, I saw it yesterday." I said, "You had a doctor appointment yesterday?" I said, "Doctor? I'm your mailman." But my wife and I, typical husband and wife, she gets on my back, she tells me that I'm a slob, and I say, "You just need to do a better job picking up after me." And then we're fighting, and she says, seriously, she says, "You really need to do more to help out around here." I said, "Really?" I said, "Who do you think put the dirty dishes in the sink for you?" So, but she is a master negotiator. That's one thing my wife is. She knows how to negotiate. There's this couple that she likes to go out with, and I don't care for them. The wife is nice, but I'm not a big fan of the husband. He's just not a nice guy. He's very arrogant, always bragging about his money, his boat, and everything else. And he's not that good looking. His wife is gorgeous, and obviously a trophy wife. Which I reminded my wife that she has a trophy husband. To which she responded, "Participation." So anyway, so she wants to go out with this couple, and I don't want to go, but she says to me, "If you go out with them, I will do that thing that you love that I hate to do." I said, "Really? You're gonna?" And she said, "Yes, I will vacuum." So, and she's very much into romance. She tells me it's how romantic it is to be carried off to the bedroom. I said, "Yes, it is. Now lift with your legs." I do have some pet peeves like everybody else. Hate it when people clap when a plane lands. It's not a magic trick, folks. It's supposed to land. Or when people clap at the end of a movie, it makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. Worst, when my wife claps after sex. Yeah, because I can hear her when I'm downstairs watching television. Thank you. Apparently you know my wife.
He's a mailman.
So she's very security conscious. Whenever we're going to have sex, she tells me, "What is your user ID?" User ID? I don't know, Big Frank? She tells me, "I'm sorry, another member already has that name." But she's a court reporter, and she runs our bedroom like it's a courtroom. So whenever we organize sex, she tells me, "All rise. Enter Exhibit A into evidence." When she's finished, she tells me court is adjourned. So I decided one night I was going to initiate sex. I stood at the end of the bed naked. That's right, ladies, take it in. Take it in. And I said, "Honey, court is in session. I'm going to enter into evidence exhibits D-I-C-K." She sits up, she looks at me, and she says, "You know I don't work small claims." Thank everybody, I'm Frank Failla.